Let's take a moment to define exactly what we're talking about. There's an important distinction between cutting through the middle and clearing through the middle, and it affects how the defense is going to play you. An adjacent attacker who is clearing through the middle is typically going early. She probably isn't going hard or looking at the ball carrier, and her stick isn't up, looking for a pass. In short, she doesn't look like a threat to her defender. So her defender can run with her, but she can also probably afford to pay some attention to her team defense responsibilities. This clip shows an offense with off-ball attackers that are primarily clearing space. Notice how the defense isn't fully occupied by their attackers. They can run with their attacker, but they can also steal a lot of looks at the ball carrier, read the offensive situation, and be prepared to slide if needed. The point is that clearing through lets the defense off the hook because you're not stressing them out. Let's take a closer look and you'll see what I mean. Look at this attacker who is clearing space, and notice how her defender, number 12 in white, can watch the ball carrier while she runs with her attacker. Now look at the attacker behind the net and notice how her defender can steal looks at the ball carrier even though her attacker is moving through prime scoring territory in front of the net. Finally, watch this attacker on the high wing as she clears through. Notice how her defender is able to focus almost 100% of her attention on the ball carrier and drop off her attacker early. An adjacent attacker who cuts through the middle is sending a different signal to the defense. She is doing everything she can to attract attention and look like a threat. She is usually moving fast, her stick is up, her eyes are on the ball carrier, and she's calling for the ball. Watch this again and notice how the defense reacts to the two cutters. Each defender is fully occupied with her cutter. Neither defender can help out or slide to the ball carrier, who has all kinds of new space to work in. Here's a pretty unconventional cutting technique, but it kept the adjacent defender focused on the cutter and prevented a potential slide. This created space and time for the dodger, and the slide, which came from further away, was too late. This play has multiple cuts and clear-throughs happening to create space for the dodger behind the goal. She comes around and uses a nice rocker move to gain a step on her defender and shoot from right in front of the net. Now let's look at a replay and figure out why no sliders came to help out the on-ball defender. It's the body language of the off-ball players who make themselves look like cutting threats that really ties up the potential sliders and buys the dodger the time and space she needs to work on her defender alone. See the first cutter, number 7 in white? She is Hofstra's most dangerous attacker. She makes her cut to the middle, stick up, eyes on the ball, and then reverses behind the net when the ball carrier comes around the left side of the goal circle. And the other attacker, number 20, mirrors the ball carrier, taking away an easy slide from her defender. Let's look at this one more time and focus on the situation on the left wing. The defenders near the goal are well occupied by their attackers, so the next most logical slide would come from the defender, number 4 in red, on the left elbow. But the attacker does an excellent job of occupying number 4's attention. She begins shuffling as if she's going to make a cut, which initially distracts her defender from looking at the ball carrier. And then the attacker cuts hard across the top of the 8-meter arc, again, stick up, looking at the ball, which forces the defender to focus on her. By the time number 4 in red has an opportunity to look behind her at what's happening with the ball, the dodger has already executed her rocker and is one step away from shooting.